guys, this is Cameron Allen for GuitarBreakdown.com. Today I'm going to be talking about a piece of one of my songs, which is called the Loft, and that's a track from my album Between the Lines, which is available on iTunes, cdbaby.com, and amazon.com. And the part of the song that I'm going to tell you about is a 32-bar segment from the guitar solo section. So first, I would like to tell you about the chords that are happening underneath the solo. So each of these chords will be sounded for 4 measures, and there are only 4 chords in total. So once you get to the 4th, you just loop back around to the first chord and continue repeating. So the first chord is an E minor 9, followed by a D flat minor 9 11, followed by a C major 9 with a sharp 11, followed by an A7 add 11. Okay, and then it just repeats. So as far as the note choice is concerned, over these chords, I'm really not doing anything too fancy or crazy. I'm basically just sticking to standard chord scales. There are a few exceptions where I'm using some chromatic passing tones to connect between these chord scale tones, but for the most part I'm just staying inside the standard chord scales. So for E minor 9, I'm pretty much sticking to E Dorian. For D flat minor 9 11, I'm pretty much sticking to D flat Dorian, and then for the C major 9 sharp 11, I'm playing C Lydian, and then for A7 add 11, I'm sticking to A Mixolydian for the most part. Okay, so now let's just get into executing the actual lick. First of all, I've got this hairband, actually 2 hairbands here, just as a string dampener. I try to use this whenever I can. Sometimes if I'm playing live, I don't have time to move it there, but for studio situations or pretty much any time that I can get it there, I like to have that there just to keep everything clean, because there are some quite tricky licks in here, and this just helps to keep everything a little more tidy. So to start off with, the first part of this lick is actually on the tail end of like the previous bar. So this is still on the A7 add 11, and it does this triplet lick where we start out, we have, okay, those are the notes that we have over that A7 chord. So this is starting out the first 3 notes. We have this A, and F sharp, and E. So after the A, F sharp, E, we have, okay, there we're going F sharp, D, and then C sharp, and then A. Okay, and so the first 2 notes are played, that's at the 11th fret and then at the 7th fret on the G string, and then the same frets on the D string. Okay, so far we have, and then this last piece is like A and F sharp, back to A, and then we have E, F sharp, A, and the E is played on the G string, and that's at the 9th fret. Okay, so all together, and then it slides at this point up to the C sharp at the 14th fret on the B string. Okay, and that is the first note of the E minor 9. Okay? And then from there, there's a really tricky bending lick. At least I find it tricky. So it's going to slide up from the C sharp at the 14th fret up to like G, but the G is bending up to an A. Okay, so pretty hard to pull off. So after that, it comes down to E, the E note, and that is at the 17th fret. So that bends up a whole step to sound like F sharp. And then we pick the note B at the 12th fret, and then play D, and then bend that up to E twice. But then we stay there for a second and then bend up one whole step further than that. So, and it goes up to F sharp from there. Okay? So that whole piece from the, that's what that sounds like. Okay, then we have, okay, that's the last part on the E minor 9, and this part starts out with just F sharp and D at the 14th and 10th frets on the high E string. Also, I'm using some hybrid picking at this point. I'm using my middle finger on the right hand, and then a pull off, and then picking down at the 11th fret on the G string, pulling off to the note E at the 9th fret. So, okay, and then it hammers back on, and then so that is the note C sharp, and that's at the 9th fret on the high E string. And I guess I'm using my middle finger again there, and then picking the 12th fret, and then pulling off to the 10th, and then to the 9th again. So, and then picking the note B at the 12th fret on the B string. Okay, and then after that we slide into the next chord. We go. Okay, and right there, this is on the D flat minor 9/11 chord at this point, and so we're going to the 6th degree of that. Okay, so we're here at the 11th fret. So that's the first little section of this, and so this is coming down like this G flat major triad, starting with the 3rd here. So yeah. Okay, and all that, I guess normally I would probably use one finger to bar those, I believe. Yeah, I do. And then so then from there you come down to the 8th fret on the D string after you are playing those 3 notes of the triad at the 11th fret. Come down here to the 8th fret, and then we play this G sharp, or I guess you'd call it A flat triad here, minor triad, and then followed by, and so that that's just doing F sharp or G flat to A flat, and then a little slide from a half step behind the note here at E flat, coming into B natural. So, this is outlining that G flat major triad with a quick slide right here into D flat, followed by and that was on the D string, followed by this G flat here on the G string, followed by one of those approach notes into from a half step behind into this B flat, and then another G flat. So I guess I should mention that I am using my middle finger during right there on that note, on the G flat note. Okay, so then we go. So and that's it for that chord. So there, we're taking, again, we're still within the triad here for this next part. We're taking D flat into B flat. This is still part of our G flat major triad. So we said, okay, then we come up here to E flat, and then we've got G flat, A flat. Okay, now we are into our C major 9 sharp 11 chord, and the first note that we play over this chord is A. We're here on the E string at the 17th fret, and so then it does this lick here to start with. Okay, and this starts out with like a B minor 7 chord, or arpeggio. And it's using hybrid picking. So starts out with a pick note at A, and then it pulls off to F sharp, followed by 2 upstrokes on D and B on the B and G strings, and then back to F sharp, and then back to B. And the F sharp is played with the middle finger of the right hand, and then the B note is picked. Okay, and then now this part starts with the note E on the B string and pulls off to D and then to C sharp, and then you pick D and E again, followed by an upstroke on the note A on the G string. Then we have this little bit here where we're doing a chromatic thing from F natural to F sharp. It's like an approach note into that, followed by D on the B string. And that D on the B string is played with the middle finger of the right hand again. So then we have this part here, we start with a chromatic run from E. This is on the D string. We have E, F natural, F sharp, F, then back down, F natural, E, followed by a slide into the note D. Okay, and the first part of that, up until the slide, is alternate pick. And then we have this little like Cordal thing. It's like these chords, the Cordal voicings, except we're just breaking them up. So starts out with the note D on the B string, and then the note A on the G string, then the note E on the D string. And then it slides down a whole step into the note D. And then the same thing, just up a whole step. Okay? And for the right hand there, I'm using hybrid picking again, where I'm using the middle finger to pluck the top note, and then using 2 upstrokes. So that's pluck, up, up, followed by a slide. Then doing the exact same thing. Okay? So then after that, we have this lick here. So we start with like a B minor pentatonic thing, starting on the note A and on the G string, and then we're coming down to F sharp, then to E, then to D, and then to B. And then we do this chromatic thing from B up to D. Just 4 chromatic tones right in a row. So B, C, C sharp, D. Okay, and then we continue up the pentatonic scale. Okay, then when we get to B again, we do another chromatic run. Except this time we don't go all the way up to D. We just go B, C natural, C sharp. Okay, and at this point, the C sharp is the first note of our last chord of the progression, which is the A7 at 11. And so this is landing on C sharp, which is the third of the chord. And we do this lick here, which is just an F sharp minor 7 arpeggio, and we're starting on the 5th, and then we're hammering on and pulling off twice to the flat 7th degree, the note E, on the B string, and then we're doing 2 upstrokes on the notes A on the G string, followed by F sharp on the D string. So, okay, and then we have this lick here. Okay, and that is starting with going from the C sharp to E, and then doing an approach note from C natural up to C sharp. And then after we have C sharp, we go to D, and then E. So So now we're kind of coming down like an F sharp blues scale, you know, fifth and then flat 5, 4, into the minor third. And then back up here to the note B, and then so then we're doing an approach note into A from G sharp. And then we're sort of coming down the way that we came up, where we go A, G sharp, and then we have F sharp, F natural, E. So all together. Okay, and there are some slides in there too, the way that I'm articulating that. Let's see. That's a slide from the G sharp to the A. And then the other way around, when we go backwards, it's a slide again from the A to the G sharp. And then those last 3 notes are just picked, just alternate picked. Okay? And then we get to the fun tapping section.